If you're a fan of Threads or have been waiting for better integration with your tools, you're in for a treat because Meta has just launched a whole bunch of new features. Welcome to this week's Rocky Mountain Marketing Quickcast. This is your go-to source for actionable advice and the latest news in social media and digital marketing. Every Thursday in just 8 to 12 minutes, I'm going to be delivering quick, impactful tips to help you stay ahead in the fast-paced digital landscape. I'm your host, Katie Brinkley. Let's dive into today's episode. Welcome back to this week's Rocky Mountain Marketing Quickcast. So Meta just launched several new features for the Threads API. You know what? I was hesitant about doing another Threads podcast episode, but honestly, looking back at all of my downloads, those are the ones that do the best. So y'all love some Threads. I don't know how many. If you are on Threads and you're posting regularly, just let me know because, like I said, you guys are just digging in and enjoying these Threads podcast episodes. And so when I saw that there were some new tools and revelations coming out for Meta's Twitter knockoff, let's be real, Threads, I knew I had to talk about it. So what they've done is there's been a whole new rollout for the Threads API. And honestly, it is going to be a game changer for developers, marketers, and anyone that's using Threads as part of their marketing strategies. There's everything from real-time notifications, enhanced carousel posts, and accessibility improvements. So there's a lot to unpack in today's episode. So let's dive on in and talk a little Threads. So if you're looking to get more out of your Threads account, these new API features from Meta are going to take your content strategy to the next level. Imagine being able to manage and enhance your Threads posts more efficiently, all while making sure your content is more engaging and accessible. Sounds good, right? Well, let's break down exactly what is new. So first up, Meta has introduced webhook for Threads. Now, this is a big one for mostly developers and social media managers alike. So with webhooks, you can receive real-time notifications when someone replies to your Threads posts. Why is this important? Well, it allows you to engage with your audience instantly. So I'm going to share something I posted on Threads a few weeks ago big client victory at Next Step Social. One of our clients got their first podcast sponsor, a huge sponsorship of 15,000. They only get around 50 downloads per episode. And I posted that on Threads. I said, I think you need to have a big audience in order to get your podcast sponsored. The biggest thing I wanted people to walk away with from that post was that if you know who you're talking to and you're consistent with your audience and you find the right partner, you don't need to have hundreds of thousands of downloads to get a sponsor. That was the goal of the post. Well, I shared it on Threads and I got a lot of really mad people. They were like, yeah, you're not telling the truth. And somebody even said to me, it's been 6 hours. People are waiting for answers or people want answers. And I was like, holy cow, crazy. Some of us sleep. So if I really wanted to get a bunch of real-time notifications from Threads, then this would have been great because then I could have seen my Threads account blowing up and going somewhat viral. And instead of having to wait for me opening up and seeing my notifications pop in. So this type of quick engagement can make a huge difference if your interaction rates and overall community building rely a lot on immediate response. So that is one thing that's new for Threads. Number 2 that is new for Threads API is carousel posts. So yeah, just like Instagram. So Meta is now allowing posts that are created via the Threads API to include up to 20 photos or videos in a single carousel. So sounds exactly like Instagram, right? Yeah, it's right. But this is a massive upgrade for anyone who loves to share visually rich content. So whether you're showcasing a product line, telling a story, or just breaking down an event, whatever, this feature gives you way more flexibility to create engaging, multi-dimensional content. So if you're a brand or a creator, you're just going to have more opportunities to captivate your audience with multiple images or videos in one post. So key takeaway here, you now have more room to be creative with your visual storytelling on Threads. So number 3, the new addition of separating your links with your character limits. And you might say, wait, what? So this new parameter allows you to attach a separate link to your threads post without it counting towards the character limit. So if you're a little bit long-winded like yours truly, anyone who's struggled with fitting in their message and a link to where they want to send people, this is a game changer. You can add all the details into your caption while still including that external link without worrying about the character limit. So again, if you're trying to drive traffic from a threads post to your website or blog or podcast, product, whatever, you can still have the space to get your message across clearly, and you don't have to worry about those long URLs. And now for a quick break. We've all heard that AI can change the way that you do business. If you have a podcast, if you have a YouTube channel, are you repurposing your long-form content to its full capabilities? And that's where Capsho comes in. Check out Capsho and how they can help you create more content by visiting katiebrinkley.live/Capsho today and start using Capsho and AI to work smarter, not harder.
Just a note, if you use the links I provide, I may receive compensation.
You know as well as I do that life can get pretty hectic sometimes. It happens to all of us. That's why I'm offering you a simple weekly reminder so you don't miss out on any of Rocky Mountain Marketing's episodes. If you're up for exclusive tips, juicy details, and some inspiring quotes to brighten your day, just sign up for the free email newsletter. All you have to do is head over to katiebrinkley.com/podcast newsletter or find the link in the show notes.
All right, let's get back to the show. Feature number 4 that just came out, accessibility. For those of you that are regular listeners to the podcast, you know that my mom is blind. And so I do have a soft spot in my heart for accessibility features. And Meta has recently really stepped up here by allowing developers to use the Threads API to set accessibility labels or alt text within the Threads app. So if you have an image on there or a video attached to your post, now people that can't see or are visually impaired or anything, have any sort of disability, they can enjoy social media just like the rest of us. And if you're thinking about how you can make your content accessible to everyone, including people with visual impairments, this is the feature for you. Alt text is essential for providing context to those that are using screen readers. Like I said, it's opened up my eyes to how important it is to have the correct alt text on tags, on websites, everywhere. Ever since my mom went through becoming blind, I was opened up to a whole new world of how important this is. And this new API update, you can easily include alt text for every media item that you post on Threads. And of course, not only does this make your content more accessible, but it also enhances your overall SEO. Feature 5, last but certainly not least, Meta's Threads API now supports Fediverse integration. And for those of you that aren't familiar, because I wasn't, the Fediverse is essentially a network of decentralized social platforms that can communicate with one another. Yes, Metaverse, Web3, all of that is still around, folks. It just went through a bit of a down. We're in a bear market, so to speak. But that stuff is still around. And the guys in tech, the people with all the money in the tech world, they're still paying attention to that. So they are allowing the Fediverse integrations. The Fediverse is essentially a decentralized social platform, and it can communicate with other social platforms. And with this update, you can create using the Threads API, and it will automatically be shared to the Fediverse. And you might be saying, okay, Katie, here you go again. But no. Why does this matter? Well, it expands the reach of your content beyond just Meta's ecosystem. So if you're looking to get your posts in front of more eyes and tap into new communities, this could open up a whole new world of possibilities. Decentralized platforms are growing, people. They're growing. They're still around. They're still growing. And having your content accessible across all of them can only help your brand or your business. So let's recap really quick here. Meta has rolled out 5 major updates to the Threads API. Number 1, webhooks that notify you in real time when you get replies. Number 2, carousel posts that can include up to 20 photos or videos. Number 3, the ability to attach links without them counting towards your character limit. Number 4, accessibility tools that allow you to set alt text for every image or video. And number 5, the integration of the Fediverse, allowing your posts to be shared across decentralized platforms. These are powerful tools that are going to enhance the way you interact with your audience, the way you create content, and it's going to allow you to make it accessible for everyone. So whether you're a developer, a marketer, an entrepreneur that is utilizing Threads as part of your marketing strategy, there is something here for everyone to take advantage of. If you haven't explored Threads yet, now is the perfect time to dive in and start experimenting with these new features. I know that Threads, if you've been sitting on the sidelines saying, it's not going to be around, it's still around. It's getting more and more features every day. Maybe take a look at it. If you're active over on Threads, let me know. Connect with me. Would love to connect with you over on Threads. We'll see you in next week's episode. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. I hope you're leaving with valuable insights and the inspiration to lead your market. If you've enjoyed our time together and found today's podcast episode useful, I have a small favor to ask of you. Please hit that subscribe button to stay updated with the latest episodes. And if you know someone who could benefit from these episodes, maybe a fellow business leader or an aspiring entrepreneur, go ahead and share this episode with them. Let's spread the knowledge and grow together. Also, I'd love to hear from you and continue the conversation beyond the podcast. Visit me at katiebrinkley.com to connect, to find more resources, or just to share your journey. And be sure to pick up your copy of my new book, The Social Shift, at katiebrinkley.com/book. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Katie Brinkley, and I can't wait to dive into more strategies and stories with you on the next episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. Let's keep on taking your marketing to new heights.